Hello. So today let's talk about why posture reminders don't really work and what can you do instead. Now, if you've ever told yourself, I really need to fix my posture, I need to sit up straight, I need to stop slouching, or anything of this sort, and forgotten it a couple of seconds later, you are not alone. Welcome to being a human being. All right. So I've been there, done that. I know exactly what you feel and how you feel about this, reminding yourself about postural correction. Now, you may have tried to set timers, reminders, maybe a sticky note, maybe an app, maybe told another person to help you or nag you to sit up straight. However, your body collapses when, say, it's midday or when you are really focused looking into your screen and you tend to go slouch and look at the screen like this rather than sitting up straight. There is a reason why all this happens. There's a reason why you get back into a poor posture, in a slouch posture, and really it has got nothing to do with willpower. So we always think, oh, I have to remember to sit up straight. It's not just that, there is more to it. Now, high achieving moms like you don't really need more reminders. What you actually need is a reset. And what that means is tiny shifts that teach your body how to do the postural correction automatically without you even thinking about it. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? So in today's video, let's break down this in a way that really feels like a breath of relief rather than another thing that you need to fix, or rather a postural correction, a postural reminder that you need to remember or keep in your mind all the time. Now, before I get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain, despite low energy levels and brain fog, or mommy brain, as it's sometimes called. Now, I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modification, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, if you are familiar with adrenal fatigue, you may know there are many, many symptoms, but the ones that I had were low energy levels and brain fog or forgetfulness. Now, when you have these two, it is very difficult to just follow a routine in your life rather than treat your aches and pains. So here I am giving you my professional expertise, my personal experiences, hoping that your journey or your pain relief journey is not as long as mine was. Anyway, so let's jump into the topic for today, which is why posture reminders don't really work and what can you do about it, or what can you do instead of this. Now, as I was saying, posture reminders tend to fail. You think, I want to sit up straighter, I want to not slouch, I want to have a good posture. Yes, it's a very good intention, but it usually fails. Now, when your nervous system is in a go, go, go mode, like it's on the go, you're juggling work, stress, logistic, kids, deadlines, emotions, all those invisible loads, your brain is in prioritizing posture. That's the last thing on your mind. Your brain is prioritizing survival. So if there is a reminder that pops up saying, sit up straight, fix your shoulders, stop slouching, it is basically one more decision to add to an already overloaded system. And sadly, with our lifestyles and our lives nowadays, whether you're a working mom, whether you're somebody who stays at home, whatever your everyday profile is, we tend to have an overloaded system. We have so much stimulus out there, so many things to remember. Your body simply cannot hold a position that it hasn't been trained to support. So you correct your posture for a moment, and then your muscles fatigue, and your body drops right back into that poor posture that it knows best. Now, this is not failure, it's physiology. Another interesting thing I want to point out here is if suppose I sit in a poor posture like this all the time rather than sitting up straight, my brain, because there's a concept of neuroplasticity where your brain sort of remembers your posture along with a lot of other things. Your brain remembers this is the posture that is most comfortable. This is the posture I spend my most time in. That becomes your new normal. And when you try and correct your posture, obviously your brain doesn't like to do it. So your brain is like, hey, that's a new skill. I'm comfortable in my poor posture. Why are you telling me to change anything? So, I mean, that's just a very simplified version of it, but that's exactly what happens. So, we have to train our brain. Now, in your nervous system, there is two parts of it. One is when the stress mode or the um, on the go mode, which is needed for your motivation, for your everyday activities. Otherwise, you'll just sleep in bed and not do anything. But when you are in that heightened state of awareness of 20 things going around in your head, meetings, etc., you cannot relax and you cannot think of non-important, as per your brain, non-important things like posture. And when you are more relaxed, when you are in that, say, when you're in that sleepy mode, when you're in the relaxed mode, you tend to be more receptive, not sleepy, but when you are more on the relaxed and not stressed side, you tend to be more receptive to these newer concepts. And as per your brain, poor posture is normal, but a good posture is a newer concept. Anyway, that was just a sideway. Now, I'm saying do not use just posture reminders, do posture resets. So, why do posture resets really work? Now, a reset is not just a position, it's not that I'm slouching and I've just sat up straight. There is a pattern, there is a brief intentional shift which unloads your spine, wakes up your supporting muscles of the spine, reduces that neurological tension, like it does not add to that stressed or on the go mode. It brings your nervous system out of that guard mode. It's like, oh, I have to sit upright. I have to remember another thing. No, it brings you out of that guarded mode. And of course, it creates an alignment in your spine. And that is something that you can sustain for a longer period of time than just sit up straight. So, what exactly is a posture reset? Now, posture reset hardly takes 5 to 10 seconds, not even minutes, but the impact will obviously last very long. Now, for example, a simple postural correction exercise that I talk about a lot is, let me just grab a pen, a lot is for your cervical spine. Now, if this is the tip of my pen, okay, this is the tip of my pen. I'm looking at it with my eyes. This is 0 degree from my eyes. If I bring the tip of the pen about 5 to 10 degrees below and I look at it, did you see that nod that I did? That is known as a chin nod. When you do a 5 to 10 degrees, so if this is 100%, you're just doing 5 to 10 degrees of a chin nod. This chin nod puts your cervical spine in a neutral, happy position. So you have essentially reset your cervical spine, the posture of your cervical spine into a neutral or a good posture. Now, this is what I mean. Now, of course, there's a few steps in the posture reset. I'm not going to go through all of it. I have written a blog on this topic, which is known as Why Posture Reminders Don't Work, but Posture Resets Do. I will leave a link in the description of this video to that posture reset. Sorry, to that blog, which has all the details. It also has a lot of other information on posture, and it has my favorite posture reset. Of course, there's lots of a lot of patterns of posture resets you can follow, but I do a very simple one where I correct my cervical spine, thoracic spine, and lumbar spine, and then everything else sort of falls into place. There's some other smaller posture resets that you can do with your feet and all. So I have mentioned that full reset in the blog. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link to that blog is in my bio. If you're a busy mom like me and you can't be bothered to look for it, don't worry about it. I can send it to you. Just message me, drop a comment below, whatever works for you. All right. So also that blog has a video which says how to sit, stand, and move without making your chronic pain worse. Now, this may sound very simple, but it talks about your optimal sitting posture and how you can achieve a good sitting posture itself, like the whole cervical, thoracic, lumbar that I was talking about, and how can you have an optimal standing posture, and how can you move with intention, preventing stiffness and overuse injuries. So there's a lot of information packed into that blog. Now, I have also popped in a free guide into that blog, which talks about how to maintain a good posture while working from home. Because most of us, when we are, it's not just about sitting up straight. For most of us, it's also about how do you place your laptop in front of you? How do you set your table chair? I mean, it's got a lot of information in there. So I hope this gives you a brief idea. I know I spoke only about the cervical spine, but there's a lot of posture resets that, I mean, that's just a part of the posture reset. There's a lot more that you can do with your thoracic and lumbar spine as well. All right. I hope that was useful. And there's a lot that I can talk about in this topic, but I'm trying to keep it short so the video doesn't get too long. If you do have questions, or if it's something out of today's video that you want me to explain further, I'll be very happy to help you out. Just let me know, drop a comment below, message me, whatever works for you. Alrighty, I hope that was useful, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for